Ignition sequence start. Roger.
Hello, I'm Manus, and welcome to Brain Drain Newsroom. It's Tuesday, August 26, 2025. Tonight, three significant developments that are shifting U.S. immigration policy's scope and logistics. One, the U.S. launched a naval deployment in the Southern Caribbean to counter drug cartels, potentially impacting migration routes. Two, Brazil's Justice Minister has had their U.S. visa revoked, signaling international diplomatic tension. Three, the federal government is preparing to sign sanctions against EU officials implementing the Digital Services Act, a tech-focused law which may reverberate in immigration-adjacent spheres. We'll unpack each in turn, starting with global enforcement at sea. All right, excuse me a moment. Ships deployed to the Southern Caribbean. First up, strategic military deployment with immigration and security implications. The U.S. has ordered an additional naval assets, specifically the USS Lake Erie, a guided missile cruiser, and the USS Newport News, a nuclear-powered fast attack submarine, to the Southern Caribbean. These vessels are slated to arrive within the week, tasked with countering Latin American drug cartels. While this matters for immigration watchers, drug trafficking routes frequently overlap with human smuggling corridors, especially through maritime paths. A heightened anti-cartel maritime presence may deter smuggling operations, not just drugs, but also boats carrying migrants. It sets a precedent for using naval power as part of immigration enforcement strategy, signaling that immigration policy is increasingly intertwined with military posture. Next up, diplomatic ripples in the hemispheric justice landscape. Brazil's President Lula revealed that the U.S. revoked the visa of his justice minister, triggering a rupture in bilateral relations. Context and implications: the justice minister plays a central role in Brazil's legal framework, often managing cross-border investigations with U.S. agencies. Visa revocation of a high level is rare and signals deep-seated diplomatic friction. Practically, it may stall joint law enforcement or immigration-related collaboration. Symbolically, it raises questions about retaliatory visa policy as a foreign policy tool. Our final story tonight looks at tech and immigration crossover. The U.S. is considering sanctions against European officials enforcing the EU's Digital Services Act, a sweeping new platform regulation. Why this could matter for migration and border policy. Sanctions targeting EU regulators may provoke regulatory retaliation. That's a mouthful. Okay. Possibly affecting visa and immigration channels, especially those tied to tech travel and remote service provisions. The move reflects how immigration policy is increasingly shaped by industrial and digital governance disputes, not just security or labor considerations. What this means. These developments are not isolated headlines. They reflect deeper trends in immigration policy. Maritime security meets migration policy. Naval deployments show immigration enforcement now extends to sea-based interdiction. Diplomatic friction. Visa revocation for a top foreign official underscores how immigration controls are part of the geopolitical maneuvering. And I will remind you that this is something that our current president has promised or threatened. He is a little bit upset that the former president is facing charges. Tech regulation. Real-world consequences. Measures against EU officials may reshape global mobility patterns and digital-era immigration. Together, these stories signal that immigration is being shaped by strategies spanning defense, diplomacy, and digital policy, not just domestic legislation. These are developments that occur at the nexus of immigration, national security, and global relations. At Brain Drain, we continue to track how these actions, naval deployments, diplomatic visa decisions, and tech-era sanctions affect mobility in a subtle but consequential ways. If you value in-depth coverage that connects the dots, please subscribe and share. You can support our work at braindrain.org/donate. I'm Manus MacLean. Thank you for watching and stay informed.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this and maybe even learned something new. If you did, don't just vanish into the algorithm. Hit like, subscribe, and follow us on social. It's the easiest way to support our work and make sure you never miss what's next. Want to stay in the loop without relying on big tech's mood swings? Sign up for our monthly newsletter. And if you've got the means, donations of any size keep our programs running strong. As a 501c3, your gift is tax deductible where the law allows. Together, we can turn Brain Drain into America's next big breakthrough.